13 secrets that you missed in Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom just got a crazy new trailer today, and we've seen a lot of new content and story already. I mean, we even got a Rules of Nature moment, and come on, that's pretty cool. But in all the hubbub, a lot of stuff slipped under the radar. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of new things every time I watch it. So today we're going to be breaking down 13 secrets that you might have missed in the newest trailer. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and stick around, because they only get crazier. Starting off with our first secret. So watching the trailer, it was interesting to see so many of the locations for base game looking sort of the same, but there are a lot of differences too. Sheikah Towers seem to be gone and replaced by these new towers, which could be on legs, and shrines are replaced by these glowing green seals. Since they look like what seals Ganon away in the first trailer, it would be awesome if they worked like the Everjails from Elden Ring. You know, you find one in the Overworld and it could take you to like a boss fight. That would be awesome. I do think these are probably the shrine equivalent of this game, and speaking of which, all shrines are actually completely gone. Who knows where they went? Although the towers and shrines are gone though, some Sheikah tech is still there, like the Ancient Tech Lab and the Guardian Arms. I feel like Guardians themselves were really awesome in the first game, and fighting them is probably what adds some of the most replayability to the game, for me at least. So I hope we'll see Guardians return in some form. Anyway, it looks like the terrain itself has also changed. This scene, I mean, other than the giant glowing thing on the hill, also shows an area that I thought looked pretty familiar, and I realized I didn't actually recognize this stump thing, and that made me set out to find it in base game. And I actually couldn't. I couldn't find anywhere that looked like this, and we know it's on the surface from the mountains and the Great Plateau. So it looks like we will be getting some bigger map changes than we thought. Now, also in this trailer, we finally get to hear Ganon's voice, and it's awesome. Bro is such a Chad that after being dead for 10,000 years, he doesn't even have a sore throat. It's interesting though that he says this.
Sweep over Hyrule. Eliminate this kingdom and her allies.
Now mentioning Hyrule and its allies seems a little specific, so could we be seeing a sky civilization? Or underground? Because a few clips did confirm that we'll be going underground in this game. But did you miss these little blue lights in the mining scene? They look awfully similar to the blue flames around ghosts, especially in the concept art. So this could mean spirits or even Poes, which would be awesome to see. And speaking of spooky enemies, you can actually see a Redead also in the trailer. It's only for a bit, but it looks like a really cool design, although I'm not really sure why its mouth is sideways. Bro's looking like Pinsir. Right next to him we can also see a new type of large bokoblin with a sword stuck in its head, and this big Chungus guy seems to be a ruler or a leader, because later we see Bokos following its command. And with those Bokos, it seems like their horns get bigger and better with each level. We start with the one horn on the red, and then see it split into two on the blue. Now if we follow this pattern, it seems to me that gold bokoblins would look like this or something. They might be a little top heavy. I don't know. This is why I'm not a game designer, guys. Now on Twitter and Tears of the Kingdom website, Nintendo actually confirmed that Amiibo will apparently give you scraps of cloth to customize your glider with. And it'll actually show different designs depending on what scrap you use, and that seems like a really cool mechanic to me. The Amiibo will also still give weapons and materials too, but it's nice to see some added functionality. Now this is really interesting. Also on Twitter, Nintendo released some key art for Link, Zelda, and the Big Chungus Boko. Interestingly enough, Zelda is holding the Sheikah Slate, but it's sporting a completely new look that definitely isn't based on a game console or anything. What are you talking about? No way. But seeing this made me think about her voice lines in the trailer. I mean, she does say this.
I am not sure you'll be able to stop him.
I really can't tell if she says you or if she says we. But if she says we, that might be a hint towards a playable Zelda, and it at least confirms that she's not dead from the start, like I've seen a couple people theorize. After Link drops from the Fortnite battle bus, we can actually see the color tone of the game shift from the blue of the sky to the green of the surface. And this seems to suggest that the transition between the sky and the ground is seamless, so you can just go back and forth, which is awesome. But now that I mention it, the monsters do get the Fortnite battle bus. I'm sorry, they do get the Fortnite battle bus because we can actually see the dragon enemies from earlier in the trailer airlifting a bokoblin in the scene. But where are we dropping, boys? Now later in the trailer, we see a few cutscenes of Ganon seemingly causing like the apocalypse or something, but in between that we see this red explosion. Now it's interesting because this is actually the death animation of the Blight Ganons in base game. And if we take a closer look, we can see at least a very weird looking hand and a bigger figure, so please Nintendo, don't just do more Blight Ganons. But finally, I'm going to end this video on the coolest thing by far that I found in the trailer. I mean, we got to see some of the hand's powers, and that's all cool, but when they showed this Magnesis replacement, I never really noticed what they picked up. It's a wheel. Specifically, it's the same wheel on the car in the next scene. And now it was at this point that it struck me that the car design actually looked a little weird and unwieldy. I mean, considering the horses and bike were really thin and small, and a lot of the places in the game were kind of designed around that, it seems like a car that fat wouldn't really fit many places, and besides, it looks weird too. On top of that, we also see two separate flying machines, one of which literally looks glued together. Oh yeah, and another flying machine in the first trailer. So, where am I going with this? Well, I think there's a chance that Tears of the Kingdom may just have a vehicle building mechanic, which would be ridiculously cool. I mean, think of all these cool combat clips that we've seen from the first game, and now imagine that but with a mech. But in the end, we'll just have to wait and see on that one. And with that, we've reached the end of the video for today. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!